If you're all about cutting out the commute to work, along with your carbon footprint and getting your day's tasks done in your living room, there's never been a better time to do it and go remote. It's no secret, for quite a few years now, this is the way the world of work has been going. 2020 just kinda pushed it full steam ahead, with Forbes describing remote work as a win-win for freelancers, organizations, and employees. But whether you're already working in your PJs or looking into making that move out of the office, there's a question that's probably on your mind. Which remote jobs pay the best? We've done our homework on this one, so let's dive in and take a look. Number 1. Web, app, or software developer, $70,000 to $130,000 a year. No prizes for guessing that a lot of the most lucrative remote jobs are in the tech industry. Just look at Facebook, who announced last year that within a decade, half of their employees would be working online remotely. And the first item on our list covers a bunch of jobs with slightly differing titles and varying tasks. But we decided to bundle them together as they require more or less the same skill set, especially when you're starting out. With many of these job titles, you'll be programming and testing the latest apps, websites, and software. To get your foot in the door, some kind of qualification in programming or computer science definitely helps, but even more important is experience using your programming knowledge. Developing for iOS is especially in high demand and can add to your salary. But since you'll be working on a team over teleconferencing apps, being a team player is essential. Number 2. UX/IU designer, $90,000 to $120,000 a year. On the topic of programmers working inside of a team, a UX/UI designer is another key member of that team. If you're unsure what the initials stand for, it's user experience or user interface. Strictly speaking, different things, but often rolled into the same job. Still not sure what they do? If you've ever used an app or website that was either difficult or impossible to use, yep, they forgot to hire a UX designer. UX and UI designers work on the layout of apps and websites as they're being developed and focus on making them as user-friendly as possible. It's somewhere between a designer and developer, so you'll need some of both skill sets. A qualification in something computer or design related will come in handy, but even more important, an impressive portfolio of what you've done. Remember, if you need to beef up your qualifications, here at Alux, we've done quite a few videos on how to get certified without having to shell out all that money or time on university degrees. Check out our video, Micro-Credentials versus Traditional Degrees. And even better, make sure you're subscribed to Alux. Just hit that bell to make sure you're getting more quality content every day. Number 3. Data scientist or data analyst, $110,000 to $130,000 a year. When you hear the words data scientist, the word sexy might not be the first one to come to mind, but the Harvard Business Review disagrees, and they've even named it the sexiest job of the 21st century. In a world of big data, with more information at our fingertips than ever, it pays well if you can unravel all of that data to find trends and solve problems for businesses. That could involve anything from figuring out what ads will have the highest click rate to where housing prices are going to go in the next 10 years. For this job, you'll need excellent computer and math skills, as well as enough intuition to figure out what the data is telling you, and communication skills so you can explain what the data is saying. A qualification in either math, statistics, or computing is desirable, and as the internet has made data available to anyone with an internet connection, you'll be able to work anywhere you want, as long as you have said internet connection. Number 4. Project manager, $75,000 to $110,000 a year. This is a job description for somebody who could be working in a number of sectors. Software app and web development are common, but it could be setting up a team or a new branch of a firm. Project managers coordinate all of the individual tasks and processes needed to reach a given target, whether it's developing a piece of software or setting up a branch of a company. That means you'll need a background in the industry you're looking at, a track record of managing people, and you'll need to be really organized. Working remotely isn't an option for all project managing roles, but with more teams using web conferencing to communicate, it's becoming more and more common. Number 5. Sales consultant, $60,000 to $80,000. Being a hotshot salesperson pays well, but on average you'll be doing even better as a sales consultant. Basically, a sales consultant analyzes a company's sales techniques and finds ways of improving them. That could mean creating customized courses for sales reps, or helping them to find new ways of looking for customers and researching what they need. More and more companies are now hiring remote sales consultants, especially if they're in a niche market that requires special expertise. To get into it, the biggest requirement is being able to show you're great at sales and great at coaching people in sales techniques. Number 6. Accountant, $65,000 to $80,000 a year. Next up, a job that's been around a lot longer than the internet, but that's been heading into the new direction of remote working for quite a while now. If you look at the tasks accountants do, like reviewing accounts, preparing financial documents, advising on tax issues, and creating budgets, usually there's no reason it can't be done remotely. For this one, you'll need formal qualifications and you have to be a registered accountant in the country you're operating in, even if you're video conferencing in from the beach. Number 7. Lawyer, $110,000 to $130,000 a year. When it comes to lawyers, there are lots of different types out there, with all kinds of specialties and niches. And it's true, not all of them can be done online, especially if you're going to have to appear in court. Although, keep in mind, since the pandemic started, courtrooms around the world have also become more flexible and have begun to allow appearances by video link. Like accountants, you do need to be based in the country you're operating in and registered there as a lawyer. And with this one too, there's no way around the qualifications. You do need a law degree. But if you've got those covered, there are plenty of specializations in law that can be done remotely. These include virtual patent lawyers, remote research lawyers, and independent estate attorneys. Number 8. Actuary, $90,000 to $100,000 a year. Like the last two jobs we talked about, here's another old-fashioned one you can totally do online. Even though it's a job title that's not quite as well known as lawyer or accountant, it's one that's increasingly in demand, and it's been predicted that the number of actuaries will rise by 20% over the next decade. If you don't know what actuaries do, they use statistical models to perform risk assessments, and usually work either in the insurance industry or doing risk analysis for companies. Like lawyers and accountants, you'll need formal qualifications for this one, an undergraduate degree, usually in math, statistics, or anything computer-related, followed up with specialist qualifications in actuarial sciences. Number 9. Product designer, $50,000 to $140,000 a year. Here's another job role in the tech world that involves developing apps, websites, and software, and one that could be earning you big bucks from your living room. A product designer is in charge of developing tech products from start to finish, from coming up with the concept and doing the market research, to developing and testing it, all the way through to finally delivering it. Besides design and programming skills, it requires a lot of creativity and knowledge of the market. Just like the other tech jobs, you'll need a background in tech or design as well as a flair for coming up with ideas and getting creative. Number 10. Senior Business Analyst, $60,000 to $100,000 a year. Business analysts work closely with teams and companies to get a deep understanding of how they deal with customers and all the processes that are going on, and they improve and streamline it all to make sure everything is as effective as possible. With more and more teams working through teleconferencing apps, business analysts can get down to business anywhere they want to work from. To get into it, you'll want a qualification in something business-related, experience working in the relevant field and managing people, and of course, excellent communication and management skills. Number 11. IT security consultant, $100,000 to $130,000. Now that we're working online more and the internet is becoming an even bigger part of our lives, guess what else that means? Internet security is becoming more important too. IT security consultants usually work for a big company and check their network security and make them aware of risks where they exist. And yes, you guessed it, because you're working with their systems online, you can work remotely. To do this job, you'll need past experience working in IT security, and to stand a good chance of being employed, a license or a certification in IT security is highly recommended, as well as some valuable experience in IT security. Number 12. Technical support engineer, $75,000 to $100,000 a year. Most big companies can afford to have on-site teams of tech support. Smaller ones usually can't, but they'll need to have someone to do it for them, and thanks to remote viewing apps, you can do it from anywhere in the world. If you're the kind of person who's great at solving people network problems, yep, the person everyone goes to for help when their computer is acting up, then this could be something to look into. And to get into it, you'll generally want a qualification in something computer-related. Number 13. Recruiter, $50,000 to $80,000. A recruiter's job is to source and bring in the best candidates for whatever job opening your client needs to fill. And as it's so important for companies to get the right staff, if you're good at it, it can definitely pay well. And thanks to teleconferencing, it's being done remote more and more. To become a remote recruiter, you want to have experience working in a human resources department and have sales skills. Basically because when you're trying to recruit somebody into a job, essentially, you're selling them that job. Number 14. Senior copywriter, $50,000 to $80,000. Copywriting means creating text that's worded well enough to get people to react to it, whether that's to buy something or at least put themselves on a mailing list. It's a really important part of marketing, and if you can write with flair and get results, it can pay well. For this job, you don't need any specific qualifications, although some experience in the field or something related to journalism will help. What you need is experience, and to work your way up, you'll need to gradually put together a portfolio of successful marketing campaigns that you've written for. Number 15. Digital marketer, $60,000 to $80,000. Whenever we open up Facebook, Instagram, do a Google search, or even when we check our email, part of what we are seeing is the work that digital marketers have done. Yep, they're all behind the online ads and marketing that comes up in our feeds. A digital marketer's job is to take care of their client's entire web presence, and that includes their website, their blog, their search engine rankings, and their entire advertising strategy. For this one, you don't need any formal qualifications. And on the topic of getting into marketing, check out our video on why marketing degrees are useless, and you'll find out other ways you can get the skills and experience you need. But you do need to be social media savvy. If you can clock up serious numbers of likes on social media and know how to get people's attention online, well, that's a great start. Now you'll need to get experience and start working your way up. So Aluxers, what other jobs do you think have great opportunities to be done online? Share with us in the comments. And of course, you stuck with us until the end, here's your bonus. Whatever you do face-to-face, get inventive and find a way of doing it online. More than ever, there are all kinds of opportunities for doing jobs online. From ones that we've thought of as remote for a long time, like graphic designers and content creators, which if you're really good at them, they can be paid well too. And then there are those well-paid fields that are opening up to remote work, like medicine. If you've got the qualifications, online jobs like teleradiologist and online psychiatrists can earn a great salary too. And whatever your line of work is, if you're not currently doing it online, now's a great time to start looking into what opportunities are opening up. Or if all else fails, get creative and figure out a way of doing something online in a way that's entirely novel. As always, thanks for spending some time with us. We value your support. Pop us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and remember to subscribe if you'd like to see some more.